Hey, what's going on YouTube? We have got a longer video today, but one that I'm definitely excited about. We've got a huge PSA return. These are not all my cards, only a handful of them are, but I do some bulk submissions for some local people. So, fair warning, this is all Pokemon, or at least all TCG. There's a little bit of One Piece, a little bit of Digimon, a little bit of Dragon Ball Z, and Yu-Gi-Oh, but for the most part it is Pokemon, no sports. It's going to be a long one, so let's go ahead and get into it. We've got 223 cards. Well, technically I think we've only got 218 that were graded. There were 5 that were left off, but starting off with mine, got a Charmander Art Rare from Japanese 151. Got a 9. I'm going to try not to spend too much time on these because there are a lot of them. Didn't start off too great. Got a 9 on this Crown Zenith Radiant Charizard. Followed up by 2 9s on these Radiant Alakazams from Silver Tempest. So I was a little disappointed in that. I was hoping to get at least a 10. I thought they looked great, so not sure why they got 9s. I'm going to have to look at them a little bit further later, but to give you guys some insight, this submission did take quite a while. I submitted it back at the end of July. They received it at the beginning of, there's a 10 on the Korean EV Heroes. I submitted it back at the beginning, or they received it at the beginning of August. I don't remember the exact date, but it was like August, you know, I don't know, 7th or 8th, 6th, something like that, very beginning of August. And I had submitted 2 other, I'm not even gonna necessarily read off what each card is, you can just see what it is there. I submitted 2 other submissions at the same time, one of which was trying to think now, sports, and then one of which was like just 2 Pokemon packs that were being graded. So it was 3 different submissions. And this one, so this card is Alyssa's. This was the only one that Alyssa had. First edition Moltres, got a 9. That was pack fresh, which was super cool. And then this one is for Nick. That was Nick's only card. Next up, we've got Haley's. Haley's got a handful. So I had submitted 3 submissions, all in the same original box. Like I sent them out in like a medium or large flat. I think it was a large flat rate box. Anyways, so they all arrived at the same time, got scanned in roughly at about the same time. And up until that point, I had been receiving PSA bulk orders. Again, this is the TCG bulk, $15 a card, with the Collector Club special. And I had been receiving bulk orders back, you know, about 6 to 8 weeks, pretty much all of 2023. And I think it was like early November, so it was about 3 months. But about early November, I got both the packs and the sports submissions back, basically at the same time, 3 months later, and this one had moved into stage 5 for the assembly. And I noticed last year, once they had changed some of the way that they did it, they used to do stage 5, 6, and 7 were assembly, and then QA check 1, QA check 2, and then stage 8 was shipping, and that's when they give you the grades and the and they would charge you. But the other 2 had finished, they'd already shipped back to me, and this one was sitting in stage 5. And I had noticed previously on other subs, since they had switched to that kind of mode to where now stage 5 was like grades ready, assembly and grades ready, and then QA checks were after that, and it was skipping straight from stage 5 straight to 8. And that was usually happening within like 2 or 3, 4 days. So I was like, okay guys, we should be getting this submission back soon, based on the last few orders we'd had. And then it sat, and it sat, and it sat all through Black Friday and Thanksgiving. It sat through the whole month of December, Christmas, New Year's, and then finally it popped. I think I got charged and grades were ready on January like 11th, I think it was, Thursday the 11th, sounds right. And I think I think that last one was Haley's. I think this one starts Joshua's. Yes. So the next handful are Joshua's. And so on the 11th it popped, and I was like, okay, well, you know, I'm sorry it took so long, guys. I mean, this was from start to finish. It took, you know, from August through mid-January. So that was kind of unfortunate that it took so long, but what was funny is I had another order that I had submitted that was scanned into PSA system on December 4th. That order finished and popped on the January 12th. So one day later, after I had submitted it 3 months after this submission, that one finished. So I'll have another video coming up soon with some more Pokemon PSA slabs. But yeah, this one definitely took a long time, and I have another one that took far less. So I'm hoping that's a sign that PSA's back to, you know, being a little bit quicker. Maybe they had people off for the holidays. I heard maybe they hired some more people when they were training, so that could have been why it took a little bit longer. But regardless, it definitely took a while, and the other one only took about 5 weeks start to finish. So I'm hoping that future subs are back in that, you know, 6 to 8 week range for bulk. But it's always exciting to get some cards back. This is the biggest sub I've ever done. Again, this was 223 cards that we submitted, 218 that we got back graded, and then 5 that were not graded. The next sub that I have coming back is 115 cards, the one that I submitted in December. One of the other things with the one that is coming back soon that was submitted in December was that one actually originated from New Jersey. Most of the submissions, I think every submission I've ever done with PSA, the cards get shipped back to me. I ship them to California, they get shipped back to me from California. And the one in December, I shipped it to California, but it is shipping to me from New Jersey. And I spoke with somebody about it, and they said that they do have, okay, so that one was the last one for Joshua. This one up here, starting this section, is going to be for Nathan. And I had spoken to somebody, and they said that it sounded like PSA has like a small facility out in New Jersey. And yeah, it's not something that I can like send it directly to New Jersey or anything, but kind of wish I did, because the next order we got coming back, they gave us a lot of 10s. We got a lot of 10s in the upcoming one, not this one. I mean, we got quite a few 10s in just sheer volume of how many cards we submitted, but percentage wise, I feel like the number of 10s that we got were much higher on the other one. I'm curious to actually maybe I'll do the calculations and put them on screen of how many 10s, you know, 8, 9s, 10s we got. Some of the cards coming up weren't necessarily even going to have a shot at a 10. Like we have a Gyarados coming up that's all bent. But it would be interesting to know that. So anyways, those ones are coming back from New Jersey. I thought that was a little interesting. And we also got upcharged on 4 or 5 of the cards coming out of New Jersey on that order. And we didn't get any upcharges on this one. And I don't think I've really been, I've been upcharged maybe one other time. I've done quite a few submissions. And I've submitted a lot of Umbreon VMAX, Moonbreons from Evolving on the bulk service, and haven't been upcharged. And I got upcharged for a card that I comped out at maybe $400 or $500. That upcharged up to 19. And then a handful of other ones that were really nice that got upcharged. You know, they were $1,000 to $2,000 cards, but yeah, it was interesting. I don't know if that was, you know, just because it was coming out of New Jersey, if it was somebody else determining, hey, these cards need upcharges or not. So another just interesting difference between the two subs that I have, this one and the next one coming back. Next up, we've got just 2 cards for Curtis. Curtis had a couple base set cards. We had the Venusaur base set and the 4 and Charizard. So again, these ones This one got a 3. Again, these ones weren't necessarily ones that we were expecting or hoping for 10s on, so that would be an interesting calculation to do, but something like that would kind of throw it off a little bit, whereas like the Umbreon, we're hoping to get a 10. Ultra modern, great condition. So, you know, if we were to account for those older cards as a miss, let's say, in terms of 10s, and I don't know if that would necessarily be a complete accurate representation of what to expect, so I may filter some of those out. But we got a 9 on this one. Oh, I'm sorry, and then these ones are for Ray, after that Charizard are for Ray. But like something like this, we might consider, you know, slight miss. Didn't get the 10, got a 9 in terms of, you know, a ratio of 9s and 10s. Espeon Deoxys, got a 9 on that. Base set 2 Blastoise. And we've got a Pikachu. I'm glad I finished my story at this time. It was good timing because this card was actually one that we had submitted on the submission right before this that we got back in, I don't know, I think it was like June or July or something. And this one was originally, we got a 6 on this, and I couldn't believe it. We looked at the card many times. There was nothing wrong with the card, looked pristine. Not sure why I got a 6. I handle everything carefully, I wipe everything down, there was no fingerprints or anything. So we cracked it out, resubmitted it because we were not believing that it was going to be a 6 or that it should get a 6, and it got a 10. So that was really exciting for Ray, that we were able to get a 10, and this one looks like it's the last card for Ray. That is a 9. So, not sure how you guys feel about that. I know a lot of people do it. They crack subs, whether it's other subs like BGS and they crack it, CGC and they try to crack it into a PSA 10. These upcoming cards are for Andrew. Or if it's just to regrade through PSA because you think that they got it wrong. I know a lot of people think that PSA is really inconsistent. I think I would agree with that they are inconsistent with their grades. This is a nice one right here. Charizard GX, Hidden Fates. Got the 10. So he got the 9s on the Charmander and Charmeleon, but at least he got 10 where it counted. But let me know what you guys think about that. Got a 9 on this one. If that's something you think is bad, or do you think fair game to be able to resubmit? Alright, and I think this is the last one for Andrew. No, we got one more coming up, but a nice 10 there. And another 10 right here on the Hidden Fates ETB promo. Alright, next up we got cards for Alex. Alex has a PSA 10 Tyranitar V. I have had some cards, so here's another one that there's no way this one's getting a 10. And I'm not sure, I can't remember what MK stands for, but the Rayquaza Gold Star got a D written on it. I'm not sure who wrote that back in the day and why they would have written that, but maybe they were marking their cards. Another one that got a 1, Gyarados. But yeah, I would agree that I think that PSA is pretty inconsistent with their grading scale, or their grading. And that may just be because they, you know, are a little looser with the 10s or something. I feel like BGS and CGC may be a little bit inconsistent as well, but they're just, you know, they grade a little harsher, so the inconsistency is a smaller range where you're looking at, you know, the difference between maybe a 9.5 and a 9, or maybe 8.5 to 9.5 as opposed to 8 to 10 as a broader range. Got a 4 on this Dragonite. They all have their own inconsistencies. I mean, you can't be perfect, but obviously when you get a 6 on a card that you're then get a 10, that's, you know, that's a big difference. We got a Gengar with a nice swirl on it. Got an 8 on that one. Nice old Espeon, got a 6. And a nice swirl on this Dragonite too, this Dark Dragonite, but it only got a 5. I feel like the card's better than a 5, but I have to look a little closer. Usually I think if there's like the part of the card is peeling up or there's a crease in it, they automatically start deducting it down to like a 5. And we got a 9 on this Magikarp. I do feel like the Japanese quality's kind of come down a little bit in the last few sets, some of the Scarlet and Violet era sets compared to what we were used to out of the Sword and Shield era. We got this Vanguard card for Junior. These next few cards are for Junior. But yeah, I feel like some of the quality of the Japanese stuff has come down a little bit. It used to be kind of like automatic. You pull it out of a pack and you throw it into PSA and you were getting a 10 on it, and it doesn't seem to be the case. I had that Charmander art rare to start it off that got a 9. Some of the stuff that I have noticed on some of the Japanese cards that I have from the Scarlet and Violet era is the top edge, or maybe the top and the bottom edge on the back, almost seem kind of like not cut crisply. So I'm not quite sure why that would be, but that is something that I've noticed, at least on the cards that I've handled and opened. Let me know what you guys have experienced, if you've got any recent Scarlet and Violet Japanese cards. Alright, that almost does it for Junior. We got a few more. Kyurem, 9, and looks like 2 more. Call of Legends Palkia Hollow. A couple lower grades there that, again, we probably weren't expecting 10s on, but you know, maybe not necessarily 6 either. So not sure how I would do that. I'll probably not put the PSA 10 ratio on there just because probably wouldn't quite work, but these ones, I think it was these 3. Nope, 830, 31, 32. Okay, so these 3 did not get graded. There were some, I thought, Topps stickers, but for whatever reason, PSA did not grade them. They didn't have any info on it, I guess, something like that. So these 3 for Luis did not get graded. And we've got a couple more that are going to be like that coming up, but these next few are for Luis as well. We got 9 on this Pikachu. That's a nice one for 2003. Got the Vending Series, Polygraph. Eevee Snorlax GX. Charizard, Mega Charizard, that is. And then we got 3 from the Legendary Birds here. Black Star, Aoki Air, a couple Black Star promos. We got 7 Moltres, 9 on the Articuno, and 10 on the Zapdos. So glad we got the 10. Unfortunately, the other ones did not get 10s, which is, I mean, that card looks good. I'm not sure why it didn't get 10. It would have been great to have a sequential 10 set of those. Yeah, I'm really not sure why that got a 7. Yeah, maybe the corner is a little bit, yeah, maybe down here the corner is a little, yeah, maybe not, I don't know. Tough to say. I know these were pretty well protected and fresh, so that is a little disappointing. Next up, we got the Head of Exodia. This is out of the 25th anniversary. Some of the Yu-Gi-Oh! We got some Yu-Gi-Oh! And Digimon coming up, so we've got all the Exodia pieces coming up here. And I've noticed, because I opened some of this stuff as well, the 25th anniversary, Legend of Blue Eyes, Speller Ruler, Battle Raiders, all that stuff, and the hits, for whatever reason, were just like, they're tough. I mean, some of the corners weren't great. Not sure why, but the quality just wasn't what I was hoping for being, you know, freshly printed, freshly packed, freshly opened. Because I had some hits that I was hoping to send, and I didn't send any when I opened them, just because they were off center. This one looks a little off center and in the corners and edges weren't great. So a little disappointing on these Yu-Gi-Ohs. This one especially got a 4 on this Dark Magician. Have no idea why. I thought the card looked fine. Why it got a 4, I have no clue. And then we've got an 8 with the blue eyes. So I gotta imagine pop count on the 25th anniversary stuff is probably gonna be pretty low, because the quality was not that high. A couple more for Frank. These are Frank's to go with those Yu-Gi-Ohs. And the last one for Frank is a simplified Chinese Erica's Invitation SAR. Really nice card. This was actually a box that I had given to him, or well, that he bought from me, that I had opened some myself and didn't get anything good, and he opened that one and got the SAR, which was good for him. So next up we got Miguel. Miguel's got One Piece, and Miguel did great. The One Piece cards have been high quality from what I can tell. I've handled some, and the quality on them is very, very nice. It'll be interesting to see if they continue to maintain that high quality print quality, and if they do, you know, how that'll affect prices on these cards. I know One Piece has been going nuts lately on sealed stuff, and so I would imagine the individual cards themselves and grade cards themselves are probably in line with that, with going up in value, but I'd imagine pop count on these is pretty high in 10s compared to everything else and everything lower. Which for me, I really like the cards that have a much higher pop count on 8s and 9s than they do on 10s, but that's mostly older stuff. New stuff, I would say most of them 10s are higher than anything else, but this One Piece stuff, the 10s are just... I've submitted quite a few One Piece cards for Miguel, and Miguel did, I think, 10 on this one, and he got all 10s on all 10 of the cards. And I've done a lot of them before for him that have pretty much been all 10s. So if you guys think anything of that, or if you're into One Piece, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the future of One Piece cards. I know they're pretty new. They've been out for, what, like a little over a year? Alright, next up we've got Rosendo. Rosendo's got some Dragon Ball Z, some old Dragon Ball Z. And again, these ones are submitting probably not with the expectation of getting 10 on them, so yeah, I probably won't do any sort of 10% ratio compared to everything else, because I would probably want to have to omit these from that, so... Alright, and then last one for Rosendo is this one. Alright, next up we've got Alexis's friend Silver Monkey. He's got quite a few cards on here and some really, really nice ones. He did really well. Here's some Sword and Shield era Japanese. So he's got a lot of the evolutions. He's got some coming up here that are Japanese and English of the same cards. Like right here, we've got the Japanese Umbreon Hyper Rare, Umbreon VMAX Hyper Rare, and then we've got the English secret rare. He did a lot of evolutions and then some vending stickers, but like I said, he did very well, got a lot of 10s. And, you know, we did get a lot of 10s on this submission. Again, just partially because there are so many cards, but the back half of this did get quite a few 10s. There's a section in here that got some lower grades, but right here we got a lot of 10s through these, and then a lot of 10s down here at the back. Mewtwo V-Star out of Crown Zenith. I say Zenith. I've heard other people say Zenith, Crown Zenith. Curious what you guys say. Do you say Zenith, Z-E-E? Or do you say it like Zenith, like Z-E-N? Next up we got the Giratina V-Star. Gold. And then we've got a Fury Sode Girl. And then the Hyper Rare. This one actually looks really, really cool. I don't know if you guys, oh yeah, you can definitely see that pattern. Look at that pattern in the back. I didn't even notice that before. That's really cool. Did not see that before. And then I believe these are all still for Silver Monkey. Got the Cynthia's Ambition. The Aroma Lady from Eevee Heroes. And Aroma Lady from Evolving Skies. I think, because my camera I don't think is crooked, and I don't think the cards are crooked. I think I've got my mat a little bit crooked. I tried to line up the words with the camera, but it's making the cards look like they're crooked. It's bugging me a little bit. Hopefully me pointing it out doesn't bug you guys. But a cool Gengar Prism Merlin sticker. If you didn't notice it before, you're definitely noticing it now. Another Gengar Merlin sticker. I actually really like the way that they have these encased. I think this might be a little bit new for them in the way they have this encased, because it's not the normal size card. I feel like they used to just kind of throw them in there with some, like almost like a top loader sleeve on the inside, but with the same normal width, but they've got these nice little like extra holders on the inside that kind of help keep it in place in the center of the slab for the most part, so that's really nice. I'm a fan of that. Alright, we are getting down towards the end. It's been a longer video. I appreciate those who have stuck around to watch it. Ash's Prism, that's another cool one. Ash's Pikachu Prism. And then we got a couple Charizards, both of which got 10s, which is really, really cool. Alright, next up we've got Alexis. Alexis had a handful of cards here, a lot of Charizards. He's a Charizard fan. Unfortunately, his did not do all that well. We got the Charizard EX Hyper Rare from Obsidian Flames. When we sent the submission in, Obsidian Flames was relatively new. The English release part of Obsidian Flames, so that tells you anything about how long this submission was out there. I got a 10 on the Brilliant Stars Full Art Charizard. 5 on this Freeze Bolt. And then we got 3 coming up here that were these Uno cards. And we got 7 on the Charizard. And again, I thought these cards looked great. I'm not sure why they got 7s. But this Blastoise also got a 7. I mean, look at that. Centering looks pretty good to me, I think. I mean, maybe a little heavy on the right, but not enough to be a 7. There's nothing wrong with the edges and everything that I can see, so not sure why that one got a 7. And then this Venusaur got a 10. So a little disappointing that the Charizard specifically, I know he's disappointed the Charizard didn't get a 10, but that they didn't get sequential 10s either. And then he also had one of these Charizard Merlin stickers, but his got a 9. Alright, last stack. It is a big stack. Got roughly 54 cards here. Got a 9 on this Charizard Merlin. And 2 of the other ones that he did that did not get, well, I guess they were at the end. This one is sweet though. Only got a 9, but it's a really cool wafer sticker. Japanese sticker. That one's super cool. Alright, and then I think these 2 were the last 2 that he had. This Squirtle, like, Fun School, and this other Charizard sticker that didn't get graded. Alright, next up we got Alexis's brother, got Charizard EX. Obsidian Flames got a 9 on that. Artisan got a 9. This was Alexis and his brother's first kind of big submission. I had submitted like one special delivery Charizard for Alexis before, so they did not do as well on this one as I think we'd been hoping for. But hopefully this helps give them some stuff to look at too, that they'll be able to learn from too, and that, oh, this one got a 9, why did this one maybe get a 9? They might be able to see, and then, you know, submit some stuff in the future. Yeah, see, there's maybe a little whitening up there in the corner, kind of hard to see on camera, but you know, and then maybe submit some better stuff going forward that has a higher rate of getting 10s. Vaporeon V. Vaporeon VMAX got a 10. And I did notice that with these Vaporeon, Flareon, Jolteon boxes that the VMAXs had a much better rate of getting 10s than the Vs did. Dendra, Miriam also got a 9. And Poppy. And I think some of these kind of mixed in with some of the Alexis and his brother had submitted some of these, I think, like these stickers to get for their stream on Whatnot, their Puente polls on Whatnot. They stream a lot of Japanese and English Pokemon openings, but I think they were going to do something with these slabs too. I don't know if they were going to list them for sale on Whatnot, use them in some giveaways or some slab packs or something, but go check them out, see if you can pick some of these up, because they're cool. I really like these stickers a lot more now that I see them in the slab. Now that I know they have this little extra little bit that holds them in place. I think that looks really nice. Dark Blastoise, Blastoise EX. Or these ones might have been the one that Alexis's brother was keeping for himself, because I know he's a Blastoise fan. Maybe it was the ones before that that they were going to do with their stream, like the Poppy and the Artisan, Charizard EX, Obsidian Flames. A couple more here. Poppy. I think this is the last one. Nice one there. And then last up is Jonathan. Jonathan is one that has submitted quite a few times with me now, and always does quite a few cards, got some cool stuff, and he did really, really well on this submission. So he's definitely, his first submissions were not as good as this last one, so I think he's definitely been learning some stuff along the way and picking out some cleaner cards. So he got a lot of 10s here at the end. I believe the rest of these are all for him. Pikachu on a Dark Phantasma. One with a 9, and then we got one with a 10. Dream League Pikachu. Got 2 of those, and we got 2 10s. Very nice. Next up we got the Mewtwo from 151. Also Sparkle. So you can see we really got the 10s rolling now. Mew from 151. Hex Maniac. Venusaur and Snivy GX from the Tag Team promo tin, or from the promo from the tin. Giratina. It's a little bit disappointing getting the 9 on the Giratina V. Espeon VMAX. Fusion Strike. I'm a big fan of this card. I like that one a lot. I think the only evolution that was not in Evolving. For whatever reason, they decided to put that one in Fusion Strike. Although I think that was a promo in Japanese, so maybe that's why they didn't put it in the same Evolving Skies like all the Eevee Hero stuff was. Charizard V-Star. These ones were tough to grade, I feel like. I had pulled one myself, and it was like off-center. A lot of them I'd seen at the time that they came out were off-center, but you got a couple 10s on the V-Star. Secret Rare Charizard. Charizard V-Star. Lugia V-Star. Handful more. Got the Leafeon VMAX from Evolving. Another nice one. Snorlax. VMAX. Pikachu. This one got a 7 though. This one's kind of weird. I'm not sure why this one got a 7. It's promo, so it did come in that like cellophane or whatever. Plastic, but a little disappointing on that one, but we should finish out pretty strong here. Couple 10s on these Sui and Zoroarks out of V-Star Universe. Venusaur and Snivy. I think we had one of these just a little bit ago too. This one got a 9 though. Aerodactyl V-Star. Machamp VMAX. And the final two are Jesse and James from Hidden Fates, got the 10. And the last one, Team Skullgrunt, also got a 10. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think about the PSA, differences between PSA, CGC, BGS. I guess there's other ones too. I know there's like ace grading or something over in, I think that's a little bigger in the UK or in Europe, and HGA, all sorts of grading companies. Let me know what your guys' preferences between all the grading companies, and as always, I appreciate you guys watching.